celebration of this amazing challenge. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate all the participants in the blood donation challenge, in particular the people who donated blood for the very first time. As you would now be aware, it only takes 1 hour to donate blood, but it will save someone's life. It will save a work colleague, a family member, or someone you have never met like me. 6 years ago, I was in a shopping centre car park, waiting at the lifts with my 4-year-old, when an out-of-control car ploughed into us. We'd just finished arguing over whether it was appropriate for a 4-year-old to be in a stroller at all, but I was grateful that he won the argument that day, because shortly afterwards, I was desperately trying to push him out of the way of the car, and as a result, took the full impact as it ploughed into me, pinning me to another car in the car park. I screamed at the driver to reverse, but he sat in shock with his foot firmly on the accelerator. 2 young men ran to the car, removed the driver, and put the car in reverse. As soon as the car backed off, the blood poured out of me. It was like a tsunami of blood. My recollection is of me trying to take a step and nothing being underneath me. I fell to the ground. I didn't feel any pain. All I could think about was my son. Where was he? Was he okay? There was so much blood so quickly that one of the lads, having been trained in the Army Reserve, said, "We have to tourniquet. They saved my life. My femoral artery had been severed, and when this happens, you can lose consciousness in about 30 seconds and die in about 4 minutes, well before an ambulance has time to arrive." I was transferred to the Royal Brisbane Hospital, where they attempted to save my leg but failed. The bleeding just wouldn't stop. I was dying, despite their best efforts to stabilise me. And so they performed an emergency amputation without anaesthetic. Only 1 in 10 amputations at the Royal Brisbane are emergencies, surgeries that must be undertaken to save a life. I was as close to death as a person can be that day. I woke up in intensive care a couple of days later, and with an intubator still down my throat, I wrote on my husband's hand with my fingers, ZAC. All I could think about was my Zach. Thankfully, my little boy was okay. The surgeon who removed my leg visited me a few days later. He said a couple of things saved me that day. The forethought of the 2 young men who tourniqueted my leg, and the 10 blood transfusions I had over the course of a couple of days after the accident. They replaced my entire body's worth of blood. I've had 6 major surgeries in 5 years, but I've also had the opportunity to be with my boys, to be their mum. I returned to work this year, and I also took up the sport of outrigger canoeing. In the last 2 years, I have represented Australia in 2 world championships and won with my team 3 world titles. Without the generosity of blood donors, I would not be here today. It was some time after my accident that I discovered only 1 in 30 Australians donate blood, and that most will only donate once in their lifetime. The service needs to collect 25,000 donations every week just to meet patient demand. Our Red Cross blood service, which ticks along in the background, which I took for granted, is regularly at dangerously low levels of blood supply. Why is that? When 1 in 3 of us will need blood transfusion at some stage in our lives. I congratulate and thank the graduates who designed and instigated this challenge. I thank the sponsors. I thank the Queensland Government Leadership Board who got behind the challenge, and I thank you, the donors. I hope this is the first of many blood donation challenges, and your departments are ready, plotting and planning to claim that trophy for next year. The real winners, of course, are people like me. Giving blood is unlike any donation that you will give to charity. You are giving a part of yourself to save someone like me.